this video, I'm going to demonstrate the way I set up my linen or canvas for painting. Not only is it easy and economical, but it's also a perfect lightweight solution for traveling and attending workshops or classes. And the super nice thing about this approach is that you get a whole lot less paint on your hands and clothes. I'm Sarah F. Jayne. Welcome to this episode of my painting videos. Normally I paint on Kleisson's double oil-primed linen, type 13, which comes in rolls from Belgium. This costs about $70 per yard, but I find the lovely surface to be well worth it. Other painters prefer panels or cotton canvas, which is a lot less expensive and also comes in rolls. Before buying a roll of anything, be sure you've tried out the specific brand, the specific weave, and the finish if it's already primed. It's a pretty awful experience to have yards and yards of canvas that you fight every brushstroke with. If you're starting out, canvas pads such as this one by Fredericks are an economical choice, and each sheet is actually a piece of canvas. I could stretch the linen I use onto stretcher bars or glue it onto a prepared panel before painting, but I prefer the approach I'm about to demonstrate, in which I tape the linen to a piece of sturdy foam core board. I like the foam core because it's lightweight for travel, but you can also use hardboard or any other smooth, sturdy surface. Although I don't gesso the linen I paint on since it's oil primed, I do apply gesso if I'm going to paint on canvas. For a demonstration showing how to apply gesso, check out the previous video, How to Gesso Canvas or Panels. I'm going to assume here that your canvas is gessoed and ready to go, so let's get started. I found the quickest way to cut from a roll of linen or canvas is to use an old painting of the size I want to paint and trace it on the roll of linen as I'm doing here. When I cut, notice that I'm adding 1/8 inch all the way around. This is important because it allows me to paint all the way to the edge and later trim the piece of linen down to size, meaning I don't have to paint in the edges later on. Next, for the support, I'll need a piece of sturdy foam core board or hardboard that is at least 1 inch wider than this piece of linen I'm planning to paint on. It's a good idea to cut the supports to a standard size, such as 12 by 16 inches, so that you can slide them into a wet painting carrier. In the next video, I provide plans and show how to make an easy, low-cost wet painting carrier. Anyway, I'll also need masking tape for this. It needs to be this bland manila color masking tape and not one of the bright new colors that are available now, because these can mess with your color mixing judgment. Now, I center the linen on the piece of foam core and tape down one side, being sure to tape only 1/8 inch in. This is important. If you are using a sheet from a canvas pad, try to tape it as close to the edge as possible, but so that it still holds in place. Now I turn it to tape the next side. This is the important part, and it's why I filmed this video. You need to pull and stretch the canvas as you tape it down, pulling and stretching it with your fingers. Then move to the next side, pulling it and stretching it as tightly as you can. Do this for the final side. You may end up with some slack, like I've exaggerated here as an example. If so, you simply need to retape some areas to get more stretch. Voila, it's ready for a masterpiece. But there are more really nifty benefits from this system. For instance, when you're in the middle of the painting and need to evaluate its progress, you can retape the edges. I do this multiple times and then one last time before I set a painting aside to dry. I like how the fresh, clean edges of the tape are like a frame, giving the painting in progress some clarity and a little pizzazz. Another benefit to having the painted surface taped to a board like this is that there's a buffer between its wet paint globbed edges and your hands and clothes. I find I ruin far fewer clothes this way. Also, I can transport the painting easily and lean it up on a table against the wall without paint getting on everything. Once the painting dries, If fate should have it that the painting is a flop like this stack of rejects, you haven't invested much in materials and time, so the pain is less. Plus, these don't take much space. Imagine if each of these were on stretcher bars. This approach is especially ideal when taking workshops. You can keep all your workshop studies for future reference, as I've done here, without occupying lots of storage space. On the other hand, let's say your painting happily does turn out. The next step is to glue it to a panel, and that is the subject of an upcoming video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please let me know if you have any questions by commenting below or emailing me through my website, www.oldgarden.com. I look forward to painting with you.